Tonight's matchup, Cardinals versus Vikings, a Flyway rivalry game of Mayville versus Winnebago Lutheran Academy. The Cardinals have been struggling but believe they can come in and steal a victory with their leading scorer, Caleb Martin, averaging 23.3 points per game. WLA comes in hot, winning 3 of their last 4 games. WLA's offense is picking up steam with a great team effort. Can WLA pressure Mayville's inexperienced guards and create turnovers? Or will Mayville's Caleb Martin carry his team to a victory? Hey, it's Junior Vikes night tonight. The gang is here, and we're just minutes from tip-off. Today's broadcast is copyrighted, protected by the Jim and John Show, but we want our WLA families to share it. The opinions expressed during the Jim and John Show are ours, and not WLA or any other affiliates of WLA. So, go ahead and enjoy today's broadcast. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and get the notifications of upcoming games. See the link below to find how and what it means to subscribe to the Jim and John Show. Well, Jim, here we are on a beautiful night in February. It's Valentine's Day. Shout out to our wives, right, Jim?
That's right. Got to have a little Valentine meal with Gwen before the game, so ready for some basketball, John.
There are starters tonight: Lorenz, Keel, Wright, Herkstroder, and Schmitz. And WLA wins the tip. Here we go, Jim, for WLA taking on Mayville. Flyway Conference full. Herkstroder over in the corner. Looks like they're trying to spread him out a little bit. Schmidt's looking. I like when he drives the ball here, Jim. Oh, he lost a little bit of the control. Nice cut to Keel. Oh!
Excellent backdoor
nice rebound by Lorenz, offensive.
Yep.
Puts it up and in, 2-0. I like the Keel trying to get in there. Oop, there's a turnover of the game already.
Yeah, you noticed a quick double team on Caleb Martin here.
Yeah, is that the, is Caleb the freshman or is he the junior?
He's the senior.
Senior.
23
okay.
A game, yep.
Here comes Schmitz driving in hard. I would like to see him try. Ooh, and Wright gets a nice quick floater, Jim, to put it in. A little bit of pressure here on the ball. Full court man-to-man pressure. I'd like to see him put a lot more pressure on their guards, Jim.
Yeah, we've got the quickness to do it, that's for sure. First 2 times down for Mayville, they gave up second and third shots. WLA very aggressive tonight.
Yeah, WLA playing some nice defense, staying on their guy. You got to watch their best player, Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is number 21. You got to keep your eye out in here. He's a 6'4" kid, Jim. He was the one we were saying in the pregame show, a hard matchup because he's big. He's a big scorer, but Schmitz is staying right with him.
Yeah, he can shoot the outside jump shot well above average. He can go to the rim, good finisher, just a great all-around player.
Yeah, when you score, you know, I don't care who you are, if you score 23, 24 points a game, you know, in our conference, you're doing something right. Nice pass. Keel with some nice defense there. Oh, and they get the putback. Boy, Jimmy, I wish instead of tapping it, I sure wish you would have grabbed it. That's a frustration shot there, not being able to get the ball. Oh, the offensive rebounds are killing us right here.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic for WLA there. They give up 3-4 second chance shots.
Wright bringing the ball up for WLA. Playing a little bit of point right now. They're spreading them out. With it looks like 23 offense, Jim. Keel's gonna at his spot. Alex Keel. Oh, he's got a nice rebound there. Lorenz powers it up with his body, Jim.
Great body control, squared his shoulders. Here we go, full court man-to-man.
I like this. Put some pressure on him. Schmitz is like, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit here. Now he's going to tighten it up now. And that's what he does. Keel, a little bit of extra room. That was a jump ball there. Should have been an easy shot there for Mayville, Jim. That was ugly.
Yeah, he made it a lot more difficult than it had to be. I don't know if he was worried about Lorenz coming over and blocking that. But.
Yeah, and I think Wright was the one who blocked the lane off. That's a nice quick shot. And a rebound. Wright bringing up the ball. I'd like to see Herkstroder get involved a little bit more here in the offense. He's been quiet the last couple of games that we've done. Nice into Lorenz with a spin move and a foul. I don't know if he was bumped in a little close to the rim, Jim, that he couldn't get a shot off, or what?
I think 31 got him kind of low in the back when he jumped, and it just threw his timing off a bit.
That's nice to see. You know, games are won and lost. I always say at the free throw line, Lorenz puts the first one in to give WLA a lead 7-2. I like seeing that right away. A nice lead, 8-2 WLA.
Yep. Going inside, making their living inside tonight.
Nothing wrong with that. They got them outmatched in height. I think they have them outmatched in guard play as well, Jim.
Yeah, Mayville starts a freshman, number 4. Just a freshman for Mayville, so.
Right, going against, in my opinion, one of the faster kids in the conference. Zach Wright is a fast kid. We saw it all in soccer. You know, I've watched it in the basketball season. He's just fast.
You know, John, watch the next few shots for Mayville here. I see WLA doing a lot of turning and running and not boxing out, and they've already given up probably 4 offensive rebounds. Let's keep an eye on that, see if we can clean up the box outs a little bit.
There's a pass to Herkstroder. Let's see if he does something with it. Drive to the hole. Ooh. What was the violation? Didn't hear it. Did he step on the line?
Yeah, he went out of bounds without being forced out.
Okay.
Which is a violation.
That's why we have Jim, ladies and gentlemen, because it's hard to see things sometimes. The master.
One of those rules, you just have no idea why it's there, but it's there. I'm assuming that means you can't go to the concession stand and grab a hot dog.
I was always wondering why they made that rule.
That's right.
In football. I get it. In basketball, you usually don't have enough time to make a cell phone call. There's our 21 taking a shot. Ooh, look down. Oh, unfortunately, it was a...
So Mayville counters with a little full court pressure of their own, and
yeah, it's not like we didn't have a good shot. It's just I really would like to see Eric finish more. That's a travel. I would like to see him finish more of those, Jim. We've been saying that the last several games.
Yeah.
I don't know how to help him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not coaching him, but.
Well, I think at least the games I've seen, Eric's done a better job of that this year. Just still a little bit of a work in progress, but he's getting better. He's squaring up his shoulders. And
WLA, Herkstroder, and we got Kuliberg coming in for the first time, Jim, and he came in for Schmitz.
Mayville switching it up every time. Now they're in a 1-2-2 trap half court. Got WLA to turn it over again.
Created a turnover, Jim. That defense maybe they weren't used to seeing, and just created a turnover.
Yeah. You know, that was a great look by Mason, but he didn't keep his feet. He got up in the air and ran out of options, and that's when turnovers happen. If he jump stops there, he's probably got a bounce pass for a layup.
Alex Keel has given him that baseline, Jim, quite a bit. He's not... Oh, they're fighting for the rebound. Another offensive rebound. Good to knock the ball down by Herkstroder.
Yeah. There again, John, leaving our man running after the ball, giving up rebounds.
You know, I always taught my guards, on defense, everybody rebounds. Our guards on that, all 3 of them, were watching. Instead of going under there, you know, and pushing somebody or boxing or getting the back end on them, we weren't doing it. And they're relying on our 2 big guys who are jumping in the air to try and jump and box. It's hard to do. And there's example, I was watching Herkstrode. He was on the opposite side of the guy.
Yeah, offensively, Vikings look sharp here first 9 minutes, but defensively not so much, not as sharp.
Yeah, 10-5, Jim. You're right, because a lot of times our offense has been slow to start. And there's Caleb Martin. Boy, he's got a nice release when it comes out of his hand.
Yeah, we've seen a deep three and now a nice little pull-up 10-footer from the baseline.
10-7, WLA is still up. They cannot let off the gas. Mayville thinks that they can beat WLA tonight, so they're going to give them everything they got. Here comes Coolibert driving the lane. Almost, a great idea, just not a good finish, but I like to see Mason take it to the hole.
Yeah, that was perfect. Split two guys, body control was good.
That went into the freshman, Jim. His first score of the night. 10-9.
Mayville switching up their defense just literally every time down the floor.
Yeah, keeping us off guard. That looked like a zone the last time down.
They were in a straight 2-3, a 1-2-2 half-court trap, a full-court man, and a jump and run so far. So.
Oh, he traveled, unfortunately. I never liked that rule.
You know, John, you get in these games against what some consider to be a lesser opponent. You score a lot early and easy, and you get out of your offense. You notice the last 4, 5, 6 trips is dribble, shot. No ball movement, no picks, no moving the ball side to side. Sometimes you forget about that. You know, when you're playing a team that you can score on relatively easy, all of a sudden it becomes difficult to score and you forget what got you there. You need to move the ball, stay in your offensive sets, move it side to side.
Yeah, last night was the girls' night, and WLA played Fox Valley, and I was sitting in the stands having a conversation with Tom Lorenz. I said, Tom, you know, one of the things that drives me bonkers is the guys that don't have the ball on offense. If you're just standing there, it's very easy to cover you defensively. But if you're always moving around, you know, they got to concentrate on you and get worn out a little bit. And that's what we're seeing tonight. We're seeing the guys that don't have the ball. There's a couple that are moving, but they're not moving. Just move a couple of feet. Even if that's not the play, make a cut into the paint and then come back out, you know?
Be hard to guard, right?
Yeah, be hard to guard. That kind of even rhymes, Jim. Is that out of your playbook? Play hard to guard.
I think that's out of the playbook of Greg Gard.
Some nice man-to-man pressure in the back. Mayville called the timeout. Got a couple of players. I think they called the time, Jim, because I thought they couldn't get it in 5 seconds, but he just carried the ball there up on top.
So Eric Schmidt started off on Caleb Martin, and then they brought Coolibert in, right, for about 2-3 minutes to give Eric a break, get some fresh legs back out there.
Yep. And it looked like Alex Keel was on him for that short time. Okay, here we go. The play is called. Zach Wright dumping in the corner.
Straight 2-3 zone, John. Yep. Maybe even a 1-2-2 type
Yeah, it
look.
looked like a 1-2-2 adjustment there. There is a play. Oh, I would like to see Zach take those shots. There. And he banks it in and home. You can see him measure that up.
Yeah.
I told Zach a few weeks ago, I said, Zach, you really got to shoot more. He is a great shot. I think sometimes he worries because he's a little bit smaller that he's going to get blocked all the time. But, boy, that's the second carry, Jim, that he's called, this referee. You know, that rule was put in place a while ago. You know, whenever you get the advantage against the defensive players, you're supposed to make that call.
Yeah. Yeah. They were blatant, so I think that's why he called them, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Again, looks like a 1-2-2. Let's see if they trap this or not.
I like the ball movement there. If they keep moving it, don't dribble, keep moving it. Doing a much better job, Jim. Maybe in halftime or that timeout they said, hey, we need to move that ball without dribbling, and that's what they're doing. Look at that.
Middle.
There it is. Jim, that's nice.
Gorgeous.
That is nice offense right there.
That ball against any zone, when that ball gets free throw line to just below the free throw line, anywhere between the elbows, the odds of you getting a good shot are probably about 70%.
Yeah, they broke that down very well that time. Got a nice, easy shot. Unfortunately, he didn't finish. Alex didn't. Got fouled, went to the line. Unfortunately, missed his first one. 12-9, WLA up. Let's see if Alex Keel can put this in. He's got a very nice outside shot. And that was just beautiful. Right in. Now somebody doesn't have a man here. A little mix-up on the press.
Notice every once in a while Alex just doesn't quite know what's going on out there, you know.
Jim, another carry. That's the third one.
Yep. Alex needs to be a little more tuned in here as to what's going on because he's got a wealth of talent, that's for sure.
Mayville has turned the ball over already 5 times in the first half. That's a lot of turnovers this early in the game. Nice look, nice throw, and a nice finish by Alex Keel. Jim, that was a hard pass that Kulabert made.
Yeah, catch and pass right in one motion. Excellent job.
Kulabert being picked there. Now they're going to pick him up at the double team. Zach Wright takes it right out of his hand and finishes. There's the speed of Zach Wright, picking the ball off, taking it down, and scoring. Let's see what he can do against the freshman here. Look at his eyes, Jim. I love watching Zach Wright's eyes.
Yep. Very intense.
And he bumped him. Hey, our man's in. I didn't see him come in.
Lucky Luke, number 3.
Lucky Luke bumped him on the baseline, got his first foul. I like that they bring in Luke. Luke's a very good defensive player.
Yeah, scrappy kid. Gives you good effort.
Oh, that was a nice move.
That was a great high school move. It was a hook, but
yeah,
you're not going to get that call in high school.
Yeah, that's Sawyer. He's their number 2 scorer. And that was a nice move. Another 6'4" kid from Mayville. There's a chance for a nice 3 right there. Alex Keel, look at that, Jim. He's working hard on the rebounding.
That boy,
and
Luke.
In for Luke. Slavinsky with his first points of the night, 3-pointer. WLA up 22-11. Might see a little bit more of the bench, Jim, if we can. I like the press here. Look at this. Look
Beautiful.
at this. Can he finish? And a foul. Hard foul. Took him right to the floor.
You know, in talking with Mike Schroffnagel before the game, assistant coach Mike Schroffnagel, you know, they have a freshman point guard and their backup is a sophomore. And they wanted to see what those guys could do against pressure, and they're not handling it very well.
Well, kudos to the coaches for seeing that weakness in the Mayville, you know, their guards, because I think that's like the 4th turnover that we've created from their guards. And that's just, in fact, it's bugging Mayville right now. They decided to call a timeout and try and figure out what to do here because WLA just went up by 10, 21-11.
So, John, it was just under 10 minutes, and it was 12-9 WLA. Couldn't seem to buy a basket, a lot of one-on-one. Here we are 2 minutes later, and we have 21 points. I give a lot of the credit to WLA facing the zone. When Mayville went to that zone, we weren't getting any shots. They went to that zone. We started passing, bang, bang, boom, and we started getting layups. I think that really played into our hands going to that zone.
Right, and of course, the great analysis person that you are says, hey, they were dribbling too much, and then lo and behold, Mayville makes a mistake, goes into the zone. I have to think that Marty was saying, hey, too much dribbling, more passing, and that's what they did. You can see they've done some practice against the zone because the passes, they knew where they were going with the ball.
Yep.
So credit to the coaching staff there, know what to do against the zone.
You get to this point in the season, John, and really you don't have too many more weeks to clean up things before the tournament starts, so I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and you know, what happens is any good coach that's coaching against you is going to look for, they're going to keep changing defenses till they find one that you are not familiar with and can't break down, and they're going to stick with it. And that's what Mayville was doing, Jim. They tried every defense in the book there. We saw just about everything.
Yep.
Keel back to the line. It's 1 for 2, and now he's got that one as well.
The WLA, because of the size they have, especially the force Noah is down low, that forces other teams. They can't just play a man-to-man all the time. They got to start doubling or zoning just to stop him, and that opens it up for other kids.
Yep.
It's a very valuable asset to have a 6'7" kid that can score like that.
Look, good defense there. WLA stays right with their guys. Mason Herkstroder sticking with them. Nice to see Luke getting some playing time in there. It's doing a nice job. Pick off of Mason. Nice feed down underneath. That was one of Mayville's nicest plays, Jim.
We did not hedge that screen, and Mason got caught on it. It was a very good screen, but Noah did not hedge it.
Oh. Luke Schlavinsky took it hard to the hole.
And for his troubles, he ended up on his back, didn't he?
Yeah, tailbone-itis. I don't know, Jim, when we come down to this side of the court, it just seems like we get a lot of opportunities right at that close, and they just seem to, I'm going to blame the rim for that because, I don't know. We could be up by 20 points if we could have even half of those. I saw some good defense there. Coolibert going against their best guy, and he tries to block it.
Oh, that's a tough call right there.
I thought maybe he was calling a push after the play against our guy being pushed underneath the basket, but they actually call a push on WLA.
Tough call. Eric had inside position there on that one.
Who'd they call that on? Eric, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, on the rebound.
Being the class kid he is, he smiles at the ref and takes it and walks on and plays defense.
Boy, Luke just played awesome defense there for just a second. The guy didn't know what to do. Jim, I like what they're doing. They're pressuring these guards, and oh, there's an open one for him. And a good player that he was, saw the opening right down the middle, took it to the hole and got fouled.
You know, we were talking earlier, John, the first time I ever saw this Caleb Martin was 4 years ago here at the old Wasack or Wall tournament that they call it, and he was playing for St. Stephen's in Horicon against Faith for the championship, and Eric Schmitz was the leading scorer there for Faith at that time. What a dandy game that was. Little did we know, 4 years later, fast forward, here they are. Same two kids going at it, toe-to-toe.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hey, we're seeing our sophomore come in, Gabe Pruss, for the first time tonight. Another tall kid coming in, getting some playing time. Coolibert handling the ball well. He's come a long way since the beginning of the season. He's gotten a lot more confidence, got a lot more playing time. I'd like to see Mason here hit a shot. Oh, it was a good shot, came out of his hand, good, just missed.
Yep.
Here comes Mayville, the freshman. I'm surprised he doesn't back off and take a three there.
He is strictly a ball handler and a facilitator.
Nice defense.
Great help, and that's going to go on for, that was a good job by WLA.
Yeah, Gabe played some really good defense there. Lorenz, the two of them made their best scorer take a really ugly looking shot, and then Mayville ended up fouling.
So, John, when's the last time you saw a WLA team with 3 6'6" guys out there at once? Or 6'5"
right.
at least.
Yeah, we're going with the superset. Yeah, this is Division I basketball. You usually see this kind of height.
You know, Gabe Pruss must be doing a lot of good things in practice for. There you go, Mason. Oh, you know, to be brought up to varsity as a sophomore is one thing, but a 6'5" sophomore when you've already got two big kids up on varsity, Gabe must have earned his way up.
Yeah, every time we've seen him play, he's done some, some good. He's solid. He's a solid player, especially for a sophomore. Oh, that's a tough foul there, Jim.
Yeah. You know, what was Tim Duncan's nickname? You remember? My favorite NBA player of all time. They called him Mr. Fundamental. Oh. And I think that's what the nickname we're going to give Gabe Pruss, because talking with Coach Mike, he said the kid just does everything you ask him to do. All the basics, the fundamentals, footwork, nothing flashy, just get it done. So there's our nickname for the night, John.
I thought you were going to say the postman or something like that.
That was Karl Malone.
I know that because he didn't deliver. Wasn't that Michael Jordan that gave him that nickname?
There you go.
Mason Herkstroder still trying to pull for him to do something big tonight. Oh, that is a beautiful, Jim, that is a beautiful spin move. Wow.
Yeah.
And a nice finish. I got to give Lorenz credit for that. That was sweet looking. Watched his sister play last night. She's a nice looking player. In fact, she went to the free throw line. I've never seen a kid concentrate so hard. Wow, that's a fast 5 seconds.
She's gonna be a real good one. She's, much like Noah, very coachable, puts a lot into it, and just a freshman. So, man, bright future for Alyssa.
Yeah, the girls' side looked was very interesting to watch. It was the first opportunity I got this year to, and he's rejected in a nice play. Look at Gabe beat him out. Oh, and now he got it back. Jim, I don't know if it's just me tonight or are they really calling it tight. Tight. Normally you see them play a little bit more in the first half and then they tighten up in the second half. We're seeing it really tight. Even though there's only 4 to 5 fouls, we got 9 total. Just seems like every one of these.
No, I'm not kidding you, John. That's the same ref that called 5 seconds out top. I think when he was taught to count, it was just odd numbers because there's no way that was 5 either time.
Odd numbers. That's a.
I think it was 135.
I thought he had speed dial, and I know that went in our favor, but it was like, wow.
Okay, so if you're out there, if you're inbounding, you better get it in quick.
There's another beautiful play by Lorenz.
No one in red tonight has an answer for 33. Period.
Yeah, Noah's sitting already, Jim, with 12 points. 26-16, WLA up by 10. I like to see it. Tonight, by the way, Jim, is you see a lot of little kids you see a lot of grade schoolers in the stands tonight. Tonight's Junior Vikes night. That's where the Junior Vikes kids from 3rd to 8th grade get to come in, watch a game, and they get to come at halftime, and it's a great night here at WLA for all the kids.
Well, just every one of those kids sitting over there in the stands, John, they're looking out here at the varsity boys in white and saying, I want to be that someday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we used to do the autographs. I used to tell the kids, hey, you got to get an autograph. You never know how much that's going to be worth. Especially the kid's wife. They're going to love it.
A little bit of weave up top here.
John O'Connor getting his first minutes in. Oh, Lorenz just feeling it tonight. That's 14 points for Lorenz. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left in the first half. Backside, and another turnover created off of the guard play there by Mayville.
We've seen other nights where Noah's gotten a lot of good looks inside and hasn't finished. Tonight, gathering himself very well.
Yeah, inside and outside, Jim.
Yeah.
Normally it's one or the other. Tonight it's both. That's good to see. We want to encourage Noah. He's a good player. Looking for Keel. Keel gets a nice shot off. And 5's running down the court for Mayville. Nobody saw him. He was open there for a second. Nice double team. The 2 twin towers there teamed up on Caleb, and he didn't get a chance to go in and score. Nice rebound, WLA.
Once again, we got lucky there. Both of our bigs turned and ran for the rebound. Both of their guys were open, and luckily, we were fortunate enough to get that, but we've got to start putting bodies on people there.
John O'Connor getting some playing time here in the finishing minutes of the first half. Nice to see him out there.
It's a great kid, a little bit different role in basketball than he had in soccer, but he's accepted it, and he's helping out, doing what he can as a senior to help out his team.
And there he is. Yeah, when Schmitz was There it is.
Excellent. Great work.
You know what I like about him, and I was going to say this in the first game of the year, or the first parts of the year when Schmitz was out, he got to start. One thing I liked about him is he didn't take a lot of shots, but he always finished up. You know, he was always solid. He moves his feet well. You can see he's a soccer player, so he moves very well. Not afraid to mix it up. And there's a travel. I always like when both referees blow their whistle at the same time, because then you know it's like they both saw it. So,
as long as they have the same call, right?
yeah, one's calling, hey, he went to the canteen. The other one's like, travel. Zach Wright showing his moves off a little bit. I don't know how many weeks ago it was, but Zach Wright put on a dribbling contest, broke the kid's ankles. I absolutely loved it. He got a standing O from the student section. It was pretty fun. Finishing up in the last 26 seconds, WLA commanding lead 30-16. WLA playing for last shot, Jim. Halftime here, we're going to have the junior Vikes introduced. They're going to come out on the court. There's a foul. I don't know if that was the world's best foul. Guess they had one to give, Jim.
Yep. Had a little bit of a 1-4 set going there. I haven't seen that yet too much.
Backcourt pass to Zach Wright. Time to start playing offense here. 10 seconds left. Let's see what the play is. That could have been a kick. Got away with it. And a foul. He kind of bailed him out, Jim, because that was gonna be a little ugly to try and do something there. Now WLA gets to set up, and they're going to call timeout to set something up.
It's a great chance to work. You know, you're probably going to have something similar to this in a tournament. You know, let's see what we can do. You know what I always liked doing on this, John, was having that ball inbounded from that spot over there all the way to a postman. You know, run a little exchange and get it to him right from the inbounds, because you know, the odds are they're not going to be fronting him, and if they are, you can throw it right over the top. See if we can get it into our post here.
Oh, there you heard it from Coach Jimmy Bob. It was some great feedback.
It worked back in the 60s, John. So.
Hey, that's when they knew how to play solid defense, Jim.
It's my era when the shorts were shorts and the socks were tall. Yes, there you go.
In fact, my socks were came way up past my hips, and those were small.
We invented spandex and we didn't even know it.
WLA getting it in. There he is, down, making a move. It was partially blocked. Wow. Can he get a shot off right at the buzzer?
That was incredibly hacked down there.
Yeah,
big time. You could hear it.
That was quite the hack. So, Jim, to sum up, WLA up 30-16 in the first half. What did you see that you liked?
Offensively, I liked a lot of what we did. Defensively, it's always things to work on, but we saw like 4 or 5 different defenses. I thought we adapted well to that, and I think we dictated the tempo.
Yeah, on offense, we've been averaging about 25 points in the first half. Tonight we went over that with 30, and so give WLA credit, and we'll take you right to our halftime report. Here we are with John Supernan, our new president of the Junior Vikes. It's your first year. How's it going, John?
It's been going well. The program is in good shape. It's been that way for many years, and we've gotten a lot of support from parents and from WLA and from the players that are involved with it. It's been going very well. We've got plenty of teams this year. We've got 3rd grade through 8th grade teams on the boys' side. We've got 4th grade through 8th grade teams on the girls' side. Lots of players involved, lots of dedicated parents as well. It's been going very well. I'm very, very pleased with how the transition has gone the last year.
Good. So what you're saying then, John, is a child can join in what grade did you say?
We start all the way down in 3rd grade, and we try to get those grades, those teams. It's not always guaranteed that we're going to have teams that low, or that young, I should say. But this year we were very fortunate. On the boys' side, there's actually 2 3rd grade teams, and on the girls' side, we actually combined the 3rd and 4th grade girls to make 1 4th grade team. So we've got teams all the way down to that level, which is great.
So let me ask you this, John. Why would someone want to send their child or have them join the Junior Vikes program?
Well, it's twofold, to be honest with you, John. It's a Junior Viking basketball program, but in reality, our main focus is to create those lifelong Christian friendships among the players and also among the parents as well. Because walking into WLA from one of our smaller grade schools or our Wall Association schools, that's an eye-opening experience for a lot of kids. They may come from classes that are only 7, 8 kids big, and now they have to come to maybe a 60 to 70 student class, and that can be a little bit intimidating. So this is an opportunity for those kids to get to know each other before they walk into the doors at WLA and create those solid friendships. Not only for the kids, but also for the parents as well. Because you're going to spend a lot of time You're going to spend a lot of time in bleachers with each other. You're going to spend a lot of time sitting at Christmas concerts, at drama productions here at WLA, and knowing those parents and those people that are going to be at those events with you is really positive. And obviously, it's a basketball program, so we're creating good basketball players as well. Our coaches are teaching, our kids fundamentals in the basketball realm and those schemes. We're getting them opportunities to compete in very high-level tournaments. So they go from their Wall Association League teams, which are very competitive, up to that next level on the basketball court as well. So it's twofold. It's creating lifelong Christian friendships, and it's also playing at a pretty high level of basketball as well.
That's fantastic. John, I heard a rumor that it's Junior Vikes night tonight at WLA. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
It is. WLA is very open arms with us, and they invite us one night a year at one of their varsity basketball games. They're going to introduce all of our kids on the court at halftime of the varsity game. So we invite all of our teams here. Coaches and players will be out there. They'll be introduced. They're also going to get a coupon to use at the concession stand for the night. So they're going to get that. They have to introduce themselves to Pastor Yankee. That's a good way for them to introduce themselves to our new staff member here. So it's a really fun night. It's a good way for our kids to walk out and be recognized, and also recognize our coaches who put in a lot of time and effort working with our kids.
Thanks a lot, John. We appreciate all your hard work on the Junior Vikes.
Thank you.
Well, that was a super halftime, Jim. Thank you to the Junior Vikes program. I don't know what to say. That was incredible what John had to say in the program, and it was an honor to be involved with the program for so long. And it's an honor to be up here with you tonight, Jim.
You know what, John? We've both put a lot of time into youth sports for a lot of years, and at least I can vouch for it, and I know you can too. You do it for one reason. Well, two reasons. I mean, we love this school and what it stands for, and we love kids.
Yep.
And, it's not work. It's fun, and you enjoy it, and you be passionate about it, and it's when you see these young kids grow up, turn into young Christians and successful athletes and so forth, it's very rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah, and I hope that I can set a good example to show people why you volunteer if you have a talent for your Savior and that type of thing, and maybe they'll see something that they like, and they'll say when they get older, I'd like to do something like that. So
it's all about giving back and
pay it forward.
Yes.
Bergstroder starts right off. Oh, it was a nice looking shot out of his hands. Keel is battling in there, and then Lorenz comes back and gets this cleanup rebound, but they just can't quite get it home. Two good opportunities down underneath. A lot of bodies down there, Jim. Maybe a little bit of bumping, knocking those shots off a little bit.
Yep. I got to believe, Marty, that's a play they set up, especially coming out, trying to get Mason going here. They ran a nice little set there to get him a wide open three, and it was there, just rattled out.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Bergstroder doesn't have any points at all on the board, and he can be a heck of an offensive weapon. And a foul right away.
When in doubt, throw it to 33 and good things happen. Nice look by Eric Schmitz there.
Normally I get the halftime stats. I got to fire my guy down there he didn't send them to me.
Can we Doc his pay when we don't pay him anything to begin with?
I think you can.
Okay.
I think it gets added right onto the tuition bill. And Lorenz puts both of them in. WLA up 32-16. Couple of points in the beginning of the... And I like that they're still pressuring them, Jim. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's work on that. Let's get some more turnovers.
Yeah, this is a night you want to do that. Give them some different looks. Extend it a little bit because you want to play a lot of kids tonight if you can, too.
That's a nice move there. Right-handed sky hook, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar style. Well, maybe not quite that good. Did you see the Yukon women won 100 games, Jim, in a row? I don't know if you caught that on the news or not. That was pretty incredible.
I did hear something about that.
And if they wouldn't have lost to Stanford, they would have won 148 in a row. That's just like unheard of. But what made me think of that is UCLA was the longest streak for men, and that's back when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played for UCLA.
Yep.
Famous guy for the Bucks that helped us win the championship. Haven't won one since.
Not sure. They seem to have differing opinions if this is good for women's basketball or not. I think not. I think when you only have a couple of good teams in the country and one of them is so dominant, we just got to hope that starts to balance out a little bit, I guess.
Lorenz with a nice one there, taking it inside, finishing. We've got a lot of inside shots tonight. A lot of inside points, I should say.
Right now it's Mayville 18, Lorenz 18. So, getting back to Herkstroder, I hope I can talk to him after the game and if not, I hope he hears this, I've watched him develop a lot in the last year, and his game used to be a lot about scoring. It doesn't have to be all the time. His defense has gotten much better. His rebounding's gotten better. He's taking care of the ball, distributing it better. So I know he wants to score, and he's going to have to score at some point, but what I like is he's doing all the other little things. Even if the shot's not falling, you got to keep working.
Yeah. What's interesting is, again, for those of you that obviously know this, but he is a junior, so he is going to have a quite a bit different role next year. But it's pretty incredible because a lot of these juniors get a ton of playing time. There's a senior right there
Schmidt.
showing them how to do it.
Schmidt says, I played quarterback, but I also played safety, so I can play a little D, baby.
They're playing a little bit of man-to-man here, Jim. Tough pass. There's a turnover. WLA pushing the ball up the court. We haven't seen that much.
Nice move by a sophomore there for Mayville.
Yeah, they're going to continue to call this tight because there wasn't much contact there, but, I can't say what one team got in a bonus the first half. The other, WLA had 7 fouls and Mayville ended up with 5. Here we only have 1 and 1. Even though the fouls are tight, this has been a pretty clean playing game. You don't see a lot of banging and hitting. WLA moving the ball around. Here comes Zach's right. Mason didn't see him coming across. He was trying to feed it inside. And I like that cutter. I think you got to watch that cutter every time. That's a tough entry pass, Jim. That was a quarterback right there.
Last game against Kiel, we know those passes we talked about into the post, the angles weren't real good. That was a tremendous angle right there. Tough pass because they did have weak side help coming, but it just goes to show you, look at how much attention they're given, number 33, Lorenz. They're just 1, 2, 3 guys that opens everything up for everybody else. What a luxury to have. And the kid's coming back for one more year, John.
Yeah, that was an Aaron Rodgers throw. That was just perfect. That's tough defense right there. We were up high side. That's the first time I've seen Mayville actually break our press and do something positive with it.
Yep.
WLA up 37-22, 13 minutes, 44 seconds left in the second half. WLA in command. I like this because they're getting a chance to really work on some stuff. Alex Keel gets fouled on a 3. That's his spot there, Jim. I've seen him hit him there quite frequently.
Number 5, Jackson Newsett, that's his
Goes to the line and gets 3 shots.
You know, the last time defensively, John, that was our 1-3-1, almost 3/4 court trap with Alex Keel up top. I haven't seen a lot of that, but I saw a little bit of it when I was watching their games when they played up at Martin Luther College, because they televised those games, or I should say over the computer. I loved what I saw out of that as long as we were. So I hope that's coming along to the point where, you know, sometime in the tournament that might be the difference between a win or a loss, if they can spring that for a little bit.
Yep.
Nice change of pace.
Yeah, you want to spring it on them and let them have a lot of looks and try and figure stuff out. 2 out of 3 there for Keel.
Back full court man-to-man, changing up again.
Yep, I like what Marty and the coaching staff is doing here, Jim, is they're changing stuff up, giving different looks. Ooh. I'd like to see Zach Wright put a little bit more of Texas defense. You know, we call that the tight defense. Because I think he can recover well. There we go. Get on the floor. I like it.
Well, you know, the only problem, I like that Texas defense, but Texas butts up to Mexico, and I think Zach played a little bit of WLA defense there. But yeah, I like your thought. That defense tends to be contagious, and you know, you see one kid on the floor, another kid on the floor. I think WLA is going to have to do that. Physically, they're just not as strong as a lot of teams. So, and you'd like to see it anyway, just as a characteristic of your team.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I used to measure my players by how many rug burns, and they used to come to me after the game. Yeah, Coach Hawkins, I got 3 on this side and 2 on that side. You know, it was like wounded warriors. You know.
John, if we could rewind this is a point I've been trying to make all night. On that free throw, Alex left his man, went, I'm 6'5", I'm just going to jump up and get it. Guess what? It bounced over his head, didn't box out the guy, got it second chance. Those are the little plays that could cost you a win or a loss down the line. Well, I just love to see him put his body into that kid and say, you're not going to get that rebound.
Well, we've seen that at tight games, Jim, where, you know, they could have won the game, but then they made little mistakes right at the end. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Those little mistakes along the way at the end of games can lose you games. And I have to say WLA they're working through a lot of those. I'm seeing some pretty good things. Now, yep. Alex Keel would not have done that early in the year.
That's as aggressive as I've seen him on the offensive end. I'd love to see that translate to the other end now. That was a great move.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, Jim, he is really playing well. And defensive, he's went up a level, but we'd like to see him come up another level or 2. Because that kid has a chance to be an all-conference player next year, just like Noah. You know,
I guess, you know, if I'm Coach Nell, I don't have any problem sleeping at night with the roster he has right now, and then knowing that he's got, you know, Mason, Noah, and Alex coming back to build his team around for next year.
Well, and you got Gabe Pross, too.
Yeah. And you know, I got a chance to visit with Marty a little bit before the game, which I don't get to do that very much. Another 5 count. And, you know, we were talking about the point guard and how important it is, and hopefully that one of these young kids can develop into that. And we saw that at the end of the Kiel game and a few other ones. If you don't have that go-to guard to get you set up, get you going, it can be a struggle. So Zach Wright's done a really good job with that this year, and I think they're trying to develop a second one and then somebody maybe next year to roll into that.
Yeah, and Coolibert, you know, that could be something that he works on during the summer as well. And
you bet.
You know, you got to keep developing point guards, and you always need a second. You know, you need 3 really good point guards, in my opinion, on varsity basketball, because one can get hurt really easy, or they can get in foul trouble, and you know, there's all sorts of situations where you got to have good point guards. If you don't have a good point guard, you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, we saw that last year, or excuse me, a couple of years ago, where we had one point guard and he was the leading scorer. You know, then he's so tired by doing all that.
Exactly.
You can't count on him for offense. Lucky he was an outstanding individual player. But anyways, WLA takes a timeout, inbound.
Look at this.
They're back in that zone here, Jim.
Yep, we saw the 3 giant lineup a while back. Now we got, basically 3 guards out there, point guards.
Yeah, with Luke Schlavinsky getting a little playing time, he's playing that high position at the free throw line. It's interesting here, Jim, because I can see that backside is going to be very open. They're gonna say, hey, we want you to come out of that zone. Hey, Alex Gill puts it in. Hard angle, hard shot.
Sweet.
Nice looking coming out of his hands.
Sweet jumper.
WLA up 43-24, 19-point lead if I'm doing the math right.
You're good.
A little bit of a close to a travel there. Jim, how's the camera doing?
Oh, where are we? Hello, there we are.
Normally I don't see that.
Mayville's been so unentertaining. I wasn't going to tape any of their offense for a while, but I guess we better look at their defense, huh?
I was going to say we want to fire the cameraman, but then I'd have to do it, so. No, that's one of the hardest things, we talk about watching soccer and so forth, but basketball is so much quicker and it's moving back and forth and, trying to talk about the game and just a lot of stuff going on. Jason Herkshorter coming out.
Who's at 32 there? One of my favorite Vikings.
Yeah. Good to see him get some opportunity to play. Zach Schrader, our defensive guy.
I just think Zach epitomizes high school sports to me. Very unassuming, but willing to do whatever it takes for his team to win, whether it's in practice or whatever. Great kid.
Nice. Now that time Alex was paying attention and turned and made a good defensive play. Luke Slavinsky trying to lose his body there to get their big guy pushed out and got called with a foul there.
Luke tried to box out there. It just, when you're giving up 7-8 inches, that can be tough.
Did they call that on Luke or did they call that on Zach Wright? I thought it was on Luke pushing him back, but Zach Wright must have stuck his hand in there and fouled him.
3-point play for the Cardinal. And here they come with a little bit of, couldn't tell, we broke it too quick.
Yeah, Kulibert did a very nice job there. Now, be patient here. Oh, here's their player. There he is. You hate to give up cheap ones like that. That was a foul. Yep. Jim, sometimes when you break that press so fast, they'll go and force something in there. And just as I was going to say that, they didn't force it, but all of a sudden they made a bad pass. Instead of getting it set up correctly and running a play, they just a little bit of lack of patience.
Yeah, the reason teams press is just not to do something different. They're trying to change the pace. They're trying to speed up their competition. And that's exactly what happened down here. Zach was going a little too quick, jumped in the air, nobody there, turnover.
Yeah, I don't like what I saw there. Just a couple of quick turnovers by WLA. Coach says, hey, enough of that. I'm gonna bring back in Schmitz and Herkstrode, and we're gonna settle this down. We don't need that many turnovers. Let's stay in control of this game. Oh, and there it is. Turnover for WLA. He sees the open man, and he finishes.
Zach made up for it right there. Great hustle.
Yeah, I like when Zach gets mad because he'll make a play. He'll make a bad play, and then he comes back and he says, I'm mad. I'm going to do something about it, and he does. Long shots, long rebounds. Backside. Somebody told me that if you shoot on the side and you shoot long, like over 80% of the rebounds go to the backside, and that's where you're supposed to go. I don't know if that's true or not.
Whoop, what do we get? Another 5? Oh, timeout. Okay.
Timeout.
60-second timeout taken by the Cardinals.
Who was the guy for the Bulls, Jim, that would agitate everybody that had such a great haircut?
Oh, Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman used to have a program, a rebounding program.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I don't know if I heard that from him one time. You could never tell because the guy was a nutball.
He was.
Man,
He is.
could he rebound. When you saw the shot, he knew exactly where to run on the floor and make that position. And what I saw down here is they shot, and it went long, and it went right to the backside. And that made me think of him always saying, that you got to get to that backside on a long shot from the side, I just thought that was interesting. There's a lot of science involved in basketball.
There is, and a lot of it in rebounding, but I'll take a kid who's willing to bust his tail and go in there and mix it up and go after those rebounds. You got a couple of them kids on your team, you're going to do well, period. It's all about effort and attitude.
Effort and attitude.
Look up at that scoreboard there. I think he's the leading scorer in the conference, Caleb Martin, about almost 24 a game. So far they've done a nice job. What do we got?
He's got 11.
Okay.
He's got 11.
A lot of that falls on Eric Schmidt's shoulders.
Yep. And 29 points, Jim, in a half and a 1.5%. Yeah. How do I say that?
3 quarters?
3 quarters. Whew.
Can you tell John and I are both WLA graduates?
Oh, boy. Yeah, 3 quarters of the game here, and he's held to 11 points, way under his season average of almost 24 points a game. So, yeah, kudos to Schmitz and the other guys that are covering him when Schmitz is out. There's
Bounce
a nice pass.
Oh, should be a bounce there.
Did he walk?
A little bit, maybe. Oh,
No, he's calling a foul.
we're going to see a lot of free throws now, John. Both teams in a bonus with 10 minutes left.
Yeah, 6 for each team. They're now going to go into the bonus after this one. So, yeah, 10 minutes left. Nope, they're calling bonus now. Why are they calling? Okay, that's the 7th.
5, Jackson Middlesex. 12, Jared.
That last little fast break there, I'd love to see Mason stay a little bit wider, jump stop, and either, take that little 2-footer or bounce pass it. That can be so sweet. But, it's not a bad idea to lob it when you got 6'6" kids out there either.
Yeah. Alex Keel, nice release on that shot. I've seen a couple of his free throws tonight. They're just right on. Oh, boy, you hate to see that one.
Jinxed him again, huh?
Yeah, I hate to do that. Boy, they called that tight right down on this end.
Kind of knew 21's looking right now. He's looking to score and kind of took it to us, but...
Yep. On Schmitz, probably with the body on that. Is that Schmidt's 4th?
I think it's his 3rd, but I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll see what the score thing said. Yeah, it is his 4th unless they don't change that.
Wow.
Yeah. That'll be interesting, Jim, down the stretch. Who's going to cover him? Can you stay with him? And we're talking about Mayville's top scorer there, Caleb Martin. They've had a good plan against him tonight, held him down to 11 points so far. He's on the bench right now. Noah Lorenz bringing up the ball like a point guard.
Wow, look at that.
To see that.
Reminds me of a little Ethan Happ action there in Madison. Let the big boy bring it up.
Yeah, I like how he stooped down low at the end of the dribble there. He's looking to spin move, and he does. And we go to the line again.
So, John, we're looking for a nickname tonight for Noah Lorenz. His favorite move is the spin, so I'm thinking about...
I think we need to call him the spin cycle.
Well, I'm thinking, back in the 60s, one of the top groups was the Spinners.
Oh, Spinners.
But I don't know. I can't come up with any names right now, so we got to work on that. You know who was the best... The guy who reinvented the spin cycle move a couple years ago was Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah.
In Madison, so I don't know if we need to call him Frankie K or... We'll work on that. We got to get Noah... Got to get him a nickname for the next year and a half.
Yeah, and that's a hard move, Jim, because when you're spinning, sometimes you lose your location when you come fast like that. And at my age, you spin that fast, the blood goes down to your toes.
You basically fall over.
Good defense. WLA gets another turnover. 48-31, 9 minutes, 27 seconds left. John O'Connor gets to come into the game. Got Coolabird in. So we're getting some of our bench play here, which we thought we might see. Coolabird, good looking. Tonight he's done a great job of breaking this press. He knows when to dribble. He knows when to pass. Here comes Noah. Is he gonna? No, he's gonna look for the. Now see, Jim, here we're dribbling too much again, right?
Yep.
We got away from a lot of passing, and we started dribbling, and we almost turned over the ball. So
We saw that in the first half, didn't we, John? It's kids being kids, and they go back to what they're used to from, earlier on in their basketball careers. Nice cut right there.
oh, he had him up.
Okay, now get somebody there, Johnny. Rebound that. Get up. All right. Not bad. It's a good look. Had a rebounder right there.
Not getting back on defense, though.
No.
When that happens, I tend to blame point guards because that's their job, to get back. Unless Coolabert was taking it in, so he was down underneath. But, that's where our other two guys got to hustle back and play some D. There's Mason. He's still looking for his first points of the night. Now they're moving the ball, Jim.
Here we go. Look what's going to happen. Layup. Oh. All right, just about. Tough shot right there.
Yeah.
Tough shot. Kid closed out, kind of bodied him a little bit, but there was that 3 passes side to side. Boom, layup time.
Yeah.
Keep that ball moving, White.
Yep, it opened everything up, and we saw an opportunity for WLA to do something with it. Mason had a nice move. I know he'd like to have that back. Oh, nice defense. John O'Connor stiffs him and then saves the ball. Heck of a good turnover created by John O'Connor off the bench.
Great defense.
Mason Herkstroder still looking for his first points of the night.
What a beautiful little
John
give and go.
O'Connor feeding the ball.
Beautiful. It's a simple play. They have 2 guards up top. They put the spin cycle at the free throw line, and then they just cross the 2 bottom guys. And as soon as they do that, he hits one, breaks down the lane.
Now this is unusual, Jim. Why would you bring in Schmitz? 7 minutes, 48 seconds left with 4 fouls. I'm not sure I'd do it. I'd probably make him sit to the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple ways you can look at that. He's a senior, so you tell him, okay, you always ask your players, can I trust you with 4 fouls? And 99 out of 98 will say, yes, I can. So right here's a chance for him to prove that to coach. So later on down the line, maybe Eric will gain some knowledge from this.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe he's like, hey, we don't need Caleb Martin to score like 20 points in the last 5 minutes with Schmitz on the bench. That's a nice looking shot there for Lorenz. Has been doing it on both sides. What has he got? 27 points tonight. He's just really playing well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you have a couple of 6'6", 6'7" kids on your team, that's one thing. When those kids can go out to 16, 17 feet in Noah's situation, and then in Alex, he goes out to the 3-point line. That's almost unfair, John.
Yeah.
To have 2 big kids like that.
Got Josh Thiesfeld seeing some minutes here. His first time to get in. Josh, I like him. He's a physical player. He's not afraid to mix it up. In fact, he looks for the opportunities to mix it up.
Yep.
A couple of games ago, it was kind of funny. I was asking him after the game. He had 2 fouls. And I'm like, that was some pretty tough play there, Josh. So nice to see him get some playing time. Schmitz taking it in and foul.
Boy, that was close to being number 5 right there.
Yeah, that could have been either way. They gave us, I just saw the corner of my eye. His right foot was still sliding when he came in, but I'd have to see a replay. But that's what it looked like to me. So the refs have, from the fall side, they've been consistent, Jim. It's been tight all the way through.
Yeah,
I think except for the exception of the 5-second thing, and I thought it's been a decent ref game tonight. In my opinion, they haven't changed the game at all. I mean, it's been a pretty clean game.
Yeah, I agree. Not. It's not been a very intense game either.
No, no.
Which is an easier one to ref.
Exactly. There's another turnover by Mayville. Looking down to get it in there.
They got to be between 15 and 20 turnovers. Remember how many in the first half they had? Just, not even be able to get the ball in bounds.
7, 8. I called 9 in the first half. I'm sure they've had close to 9 already this half, Jim. They're probably closing in on 20 turnovers for the game, which is hard to win games when you turn it over that much. Another aggressive play by Alex Keel and a travel. Another turnover. Closing in on that.
There's Wright just hanging around like a little mosquito, just bothering them and causing a turnover.
Yeah, the pressure that WLA has put on the guards, I think, Jim, has really been the difference, in my opinion, of how they've done so well. Tonight, WLA 52-33 right now with 6 minutes left. But I think that's been the difference, is I think the guard play and the pressure on the ball and the trapping and the pressing has created a lot of opportunities. That's interesting. I wonder, I'd like to go in the huddle right now, what Marty is thinking with 5 minutes left in the game. Are we bringing in guys off the bench? Are we just trying to clean up some stuff?
Let's see if they run anything special for one of the WLA players in there right now that doesn't normally get a ton of time. This would be a really good time to run a set for Josh or maybe Gabe, I see, checking in, just to see if you could, for these kids that have been really putting the time in practice, reward them here and say, I'm going to run a set for you. It doesn't mean you got to score, but if you get open, knock it down,
Yeah, when guys come off the bench, when you got a pretty command of the game and the lead, a lot of times the guys coming off the bench they're a little discombobulated. They haven't been in the swing of the game, well, you got Gabe coming in as well here. So yeah, you got Gabe and you got Josh Thiesfeld. So yeah, let's see what they're going to set up and what they called out after the timeout. Even Schmidt's in. I mean, what's he been in? A minute and a half or so. Hasn't created that fifth foul. So we'll see if he can keep playing. Back pass. They're spreading this out, Jim. Notice that? Let's see if he's going to drive to the hole.
Okay, so it looks
tough
like
pass to get there.
Yeah, it looks like they went to their spread a little bit here. Just a tad bit of a delay, but not a full delay.
Down in the corner, going to take a three. There's with Gabe with a nice one. Another offensive rebound, 2 in a row. Schmidt sees the opportunity. Oh, and he is whacked. I like Schmidt saw that he had that opportunity to drive it to the hole, and that's exactly what he did. But he got tomahawk chopped, Jim.
Yeah, and the poor kid that hit him fell to the ground in just a heap. So a foul and probably a few bruises on top of it.
Yeah, I saw on Netflix, or maybe I was one of those, that the old mini series, the Centennial, where you had that looked like a tomahawk chop to me, right out of the movie.
See, when you say tomahawk chop to me, I'm thinking WWE, baby. Jimmy Superfly Snuka or something like that. So Marty called a timeout. What a great look by Gabe. What a great look.
Jim, that was 3 offensive rebounds he had in less than 10 seconds.
And what did he do? He pivoted, turned, found a guy. That's textbook. From Mr.
Nice.
What are we calling him? Mr. Fundamental?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a nice play. And, Caleb for Mayville, your team is down. You haven't scored a ton. I think he's got, 13 or something like that. The whole thing rests on his shoulders. That's tough on a kid, that he's at this point in the game, you're a senior or whatever, and you got to go down there and try and help your team win. You got 5 minutes left.
He seems like, without knowing him real well, just his body language, he seems to be a consummate team player. I'm not seeing him jack up 40 shots. He's trying to do everything he can, and give him credit. It's not the circumstance that he's in right now is not his fault, but he's doing the best with what's going on, and
Yep.
you know,
Logan Beekler seeing the floor for the first time tonight. Logan is one of those kids, Jim, that have minus 2% body fat. I'm jealous.
Yeah. I think I did at that age too, though. When I graduated, I was like about 155 pounds. So
I think I weighed that in 8th grade.
well, see, back then there was too many guys like me. That's why our football team stunk, John. Wasn't enough big bodies. You know, word on the street is that Logan might be the best three-point shooter on WLA's roster. You know, good kid, catching, squaring up, and shooting. So could be a role for him next year, especially with all that size. You imagine being, you know, kick it out. There you go, nice little
Gets the
steal.
turnover. Be careful. Oh, that was close. Be careful not to turn the ball back over. Now let's have some patience, Jim. And you know, if I was the coach here at this point, I'd say unless you got a layup, don't take the shot. Let's practice moving that ball around without turning it over. I always love this situations because you could work on so much.
Yep.
The other team is scrapping for, see, and there is the turnover.
It's a long pass, 2 people away, you know, that's just too long of a pass for that situation.
Yeah. And there's Josh Diesfeld, and I give him credit because, you know, he likes to mix it up, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, I would have liked to have him fall way up here. You know, don't necessarily let him have a 2-shot foul, but, you know, Josh is a senior, doesn't get a lot of playing time. He gets playing time in games like tonight. Heck of a soccer player.
Plus the bonus.
Now he's putting in some points, Jim, as we're coming down the stretch. He had 11 points. Now he's already up to 16. This probably make this one. He's a good free throw shooter. He's got just a great stroke. Just same thing every time.
You know what? We'll remember when Eric left the game, I think he had, maybe 12 points. So Eric did a wonderful job on him tonight.
Yes, he did. Kudos to Eric for covering him. And whenever you cover a great player like that, there's a fall on the floor. Whenever you cover a great player like that, it takes away from your offense because you're so vested in trying to cover their guy. You're not really focused on, right? You're really not focused on your offense. And when you come down, you know, you're happy if you can get a shot or 2 off.
And that's can be a little bit of a surprise as Logan Beekler hits the first of 2. You know, you look at, that's a good point, John, because WLA doesn't have a lot of scoring options that are consistent, and Eric's one of them. But he's defensively, he's just too good. His size, his speed, his quickness, it all plays in. So
I wish we had 2 of them.
Yep.
One for defense, one for offense. You know, and that's why I would like to see, and I know Megan Herkstroder, there's a turnover. You know, I know that's what Megan Herkstroder would love to be the offensive weapon. Tonight he just did not have that opportunity to score a lot. There's Pruss with a rebound. Nice putback.
Mr. Fundamental, right spot, right time.
Is he left-handed? Because he did a nice job left-handed layup there.
You know, for all I know, he could be amphibious.
Hey, you only get that here at the Jim and John show, folks. There he is, taking it to the hole, getting fouled. Give him credit.
Yeah. You know, a couple of different schools of thought here, John. You've seen this over the years where, you know, a kid that has a very high average like that, and now it's what some people call garbage time, but this is the time where the subs really earned it, and especially for WLA, they earn this playing time. They need to be out there to sharpen their game.
Yep.
And the other team keeps their first guys in there trying to get more points for the kid. You know,
Right.
they say whatever it is, you know.
They're trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
Yep. 59-37, and it might be 38 right now. 59-38, WLA up. Just about 3 minutes left. Lots of subs in. You got Schrader in, you got O'Connor, you got Beekler, Gabe in, and turnover. Nice rebound there, and he's fouled.
Big guy hustled all the way back down.
I got to tell you, I'm impressed with Pruss because I don't know how many minutes he's played, but it's like I thought that was a foul. Every 30 seconds.
What did they call there?
Every 30 seconds, he seems to be making a play. That's a nice pass.
Yeah, Mayville starters are having some real success here against this group for the Vikings.
2 shots now for Austin Stigler.
Yeah, John O'Connor, Beekler, Pruss, Biesfeld, and Schrader in right now, getting some playing time. Looks like they've played everybody's played tonight, Jim.
Yep.
Everybody's played. Lucky shot there. Now they got to move to get open. John O'Connor. That's a pretty quick.
Tough pass there.
Yeah, that could have been an easy turnover, but luckily they held on to it. Let's see what these guys off the bench. They've played, these are the guys that help your first team get better. Josh Stiesfeld sees it, drains it. Good for Josh. I like when the bench can do something. He's in the book, Jim. He's got a couple of fouls and a 3-point. You want to have more points than fouls. That's what I used to say.
Good looking shot. Good to see that go down for Josh. Hopefully that confidence will boost from that. Oh,
that was a little bit of a travel. Jump stop, drag.
2 steps and then a jump stop and then a...
He looked like he was doing the drag fishing there in Lake Michigan. We're going to drag that lead across the bottom of the lake.
WLA has not had a trouble at all breaking the press tonight. Turnover there, but really they haven't.
Is that a travel or...
Not really.
I guess it doesn't matter.
When you go to the floor, they usually don't call it. It's when you get back up. So that seemed a bit premature, but...
Okay. I like WLA staying right with their pressure. I like it even with their bench players. They're pressuring the ball, looking for a pick. Right there is where, we got headsets on, so I couldn't hear it, but I didn't see anything coming out of Gabe's mouth. That's where you want to call those picks out so you know what's going on the floor. There's a rainbow 3. Gabe coming up with a rebound. Beekler missling it down the field. He needs some help. He's a little bit of aggressive foul. WLA up 22 points. Good for them. Minute 4 left. This is what I like, Jim, right down here. Our assistant coach working with the bench players right now. This is how your team gets better. You coach all the kids right down to the last seconds of the game. Kudos to our coaching staff.
Certainly, that's, like I said, these kids deserve this time. And you're going to give them everything you got, just like you would your first 5, second 5, third 5. Doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Yeah, and I like Marty Nell is still standing up. Sometimes I see coaches when the bench comes in, they sit down and let them play. And Marty's out there coaching them up. There's a nice shot.
Kid's got a really nice stroke.
Yep, 21 points. He might hit his average, Jim. But we held him to 11 points. He's put in 10 in the last 5 minutes here with our bench players. Oh, is that a beautiful pass by Schrader? And a nice finish, huh?
Man,
I think Gabe has to be interviewed with Tom Lorenz because he has played.
That kid is just...
I'm impressed.
It's just his demeanor never changes. It's just the same every time.
Scrapping down to the last minute. And a block. And another block. Oh! With 9 seconds left and a blowout, Jim, foul. I don't know. That looked like a pretty clean block for the second one, as well as the first.
Just what WLA needs, another 6'6" kid for next year's team, huh?
Oh, it just... we saw him, I don't know, about 6 games ago. I don't know if Lorenz got in foul trouble or whatever. He came in for 2-3 minutes, and I was like, whoa. You know, I seen him play at the JV level, and I thought he played really well. You know, but varsity's a whole different thing. Faster game, all that kind of stuff. And I was impressed with the 3 minutes or so that he got to play. And I've been impressed ever since. Well, Jim, great win for WLA, winning by 20, 65-45. And what did you see there in the second half that you liked?
Vikings came out right from the start in the second half and took control of this game and said this is not going to be one we're going to allow you back into. Spread it up to 20, 24, 25 points. Got to look at a lot of different things Marty did, both offensively and defensively. Got all of his players in, got some good minutes, got some rest. Just what you want, you know, in a home game. And I think he's got to be very satisfied, very excited with the outcome.
Yeah, great night, Junior Vikes night, of course, and I loved it. And I was really impressed with the coaching staff tonight. They did a nice job, you know, calling exactly what they needed to do. So, Jim, for Jim and John, we will see you at the post-game report, and we will see you next week for the next big game. We'll see you then.
All right, John, sounds good.
Here we are tonight with Noah Lorenz and Gabe Pruss. Awesome game. Noah finished up player of the game, 27 points. How did it feel?
It felt great to pull out the W here, especially at Mayville. They have a good program, and they have a good player in Caleb Martin.
Yeah, Caleb Martin came home, and I think he scores 23. You outscored him his season average. How did that feel?
Felt pretty good.
You were hitting the inside and outside. What was it with you tonight?
I don't know. I just felt good on my outside shot, and I felt good taking it, so I just kept shooting them.
Gabe, I was impressed. We've been watching you grow as the season, not height-wise, but basketball sense-wise, as the season went on. We saw you get 3 offensive rebounds in less than 10 seconds. What was going on down there?
Well, I just go up, you know, coach says stay on your trampoline, so that's what I did. Keep on going up.
Yeah, and what we like too is you got really good position with the square, and you put up some nice points. You didn't have a lot, but you added points to the game. What was your secret tonight to do that?
Well, they're a pretty attacking team, so you just have to give them a pump fake and go up strong.
You know what I like tonight is the guards were putting pressure on their guards. But Noah, what was going on with the big guys? You were right involved with all that half court and full court pressure. What was the game plan?
Well, we run a play where we have guards that come out to the sides, and I just kind of stay back as a safety. And the guards kept giving me the ball, and the big man kind of kept backing up, so I just took it all the way, and so we could secure the ball on the other side of half court.
So what do you see going on the rest of the year here? You guys got off to a rough start. You guys have been playing pretty well over the last, 6 or 7 games. You're starting to learn how to win them at the end, right?
Yep.
What do you see going forward in the next couple of games?
Well, we have a big game next week against Amro. No, Thursday against Amro. Friday. We have a game Friday against Amro, and that'll be a big one. Hopefully we can pull out the W against them and then finish it up with Myra and Laconia.
Okay. Gabe, this is a team where we got 3 guys that are like super tall. That's unusual, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you're the 3rd guy. There was a time where all 3 of you guys were in at the same time. What was that play called? We need a name for that.
Well,
the triple trees are in, or what?
I don't know, big 3.
Was that the first time this season? I don't think I've seen that this season.
That would probably be the first time this season that we were all 3.
First time. Yeah. So what do you do then? Are you playing the point guard when the other 2 guys are in, or what?
Well, I'm more of attacking, like driving through the lane instead of on the box. So.
Okay. Well, guys, what a great victory. You guys beat them by 20 points. Congratulations. And we're going to be back next week for the home game. So we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get all the updates. And we'll see you next week.